What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another one. Today we're getting back on our 1963 Volkswagen Beetle. We're going to try to replace the floor pans. So I've been telling myself for the last couple days after I get off work to come in here and pull this 40 horse off, because they come out pretty easy and pretty quick, especially when you don't have the body on them. But yeah, because there's only 4 bolts to pull this whole thing off. Seriously, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, like I said, it's pretty easy. You just have basically 4 bolts here, or these 2 are going to be studs on the engine that slide through. But yeah, it's really not too hard. I believe the world record for pulling a Volkswagen engine out is less than a minute, believe it or not. And it may even be, I can't remember if it's just pulling it out or if it's pulling it out and putting it back in is still less than a minute. I'm not exactly sure. I can't remember. But anyway, we're basically just going to take this, flip it up on its side, and start cutting. We'll start on this passenger pan, get it cut out, cleaned up, and we'll flip it on the other side, get driver's side cut out, cleaned up, and then we'll be ready for our pans. We've got pans from Wolfsburg West, so they look to be pretty good quality pans. And I just realized, I don't know that you can see my head right now. Never done this before, so I don't know how it's going to go. Got this big bar, and we're just going to do this to flip it. I don't know if this will work or not, but... Whoa, don't slide out, bar. Oh, she's sitting on the... Okay. I don't know how well that's going to stay up there, to be honest with you. We're hitting the jack point there is what we're sitting on. I didn't think about that. Because I definitely do not want this thing falling while we're sawing on it. It's up there pretty good. I probably should have put some air in that tire before I flipped it up on its side, but oh well, it is what it is, I guess. All right, so the plan is, what we're going to do this underneath is we're going to come through through here, the seam. Going to come through and cut at this seam there, and then as well, we're going to cut what's left anyway. We're going to come through here and cut right along that seam on the pan side. That way we don't get into the tunnel. We don't want to touch that at all. But yeah, just cut along that seam, get rid of that corner, and then just cut up through there as well. So doing that, we'll why do they do all those rivets in that? That's weird. Oh, I guess they overlap or something maybe. I don't know. Doesn't matter, we're cutting it out anyway. So yeah, we'll get this side cut out. I'll get the Sawzall, reciprocating saw, whatever you want to call it. And we're just going to cut through that line. And yeah, get that pan out of there. And here are the pans that we've got right here from Wolfsburg West. Now, they come with these pieces here. And I'm going to clean, well, I said these pieces, you can't really see it, can you? Those pieces there, the little triangle pieces, you can see that piece through there. Oh, I need to pull that off, don't I? But it looks fine. We'll see what it looks like underneath here once we pull it up. And if it's bad, we'll go ahead and replace it. But if not, I'm going to leave it, because if that stays there, that'll be a good place to help us just locate the pan. We will have the front to locate it with, but if we got the front and the rear, then we don't have to worry about it too much. So, all right, get you all set up and start getting this cut out. All right, guys, now we're going to use our air hammer, a couple chisels to run along through here and separate the our tunnel from what is left of our floor pan. So yeah, gonna set you all up on a time lapse and just get to tearing some stuff up. So, well, hopefully not tearing it up, but tearing it out. What we need to take out anyway. Nothing extra, hopefully. Anyway, let's get to it. All right, guys, well, at some point in time my gimbal failed on that time lapse, so I'm not sure how much of that you got to see, but let me show you where we're at. So we've got most of it off, and this tunnel was a little worse than I thought. I still got to go clean it up, you know, where the spot welds are, it sort of ripped, which is fine. We can go through and grind that. But right here, I was thinking that was the floor pan because of how thin it was. No, that's actually our tunnel, and it's just rusted. So I sort of split that. So we'll take a pecker and peck that back up straight, and then clean this all up, and we'll get this clean. We may cut this out and weld us a little piece in there. But yeah, we'll clean it up and see how it goes. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm not gonna set up a camera because for whatever reason, my gimbal here is shutting off. Well, it's not even that it's shutting off, it just starts flashing. So I think it might be overheating or something. It's pretty warm in here. So we'll be back in a minute whenever we get this cleaned up a little bit. All right, guys, so we got the one side out. As you can see, we're back on the ground. It's getting a little late, as you can see. So didn't get as much done today as I was hoping. I got a late start, and I had the little girl over here for a while, so couldn't do anything while she was over here. But so I've got to do a few things to this driver's side. We need to get our pedals out, brake master, all that kind of good stuff out of there. Get that out of the way, and then we can start working on this side. But we're going to do that in the morning. All right, guys, we are back. So I've started to take off the pedal assembly, so we got to get that off and get it out of the way, and then I'm going to pull that brake line that runs along through there. As you can see, we're going to pull that out. Then we'll get this old girl on her side, and we'll get to cutting. So I probably won't record much of that since you've already seen the other side, and this is going to be, you know, pretty much the same thing except for those few added things that I just talked about with the pedals and brake lines and such. So yeah, I'm going to put this camera down and get this stuff off. Oh man, that was close. Way closer than I thought. Come on, saw. Idiot! If you saw that coming, drop a comment below. If you saw that coming, drop coming in the comments below. Alright guys, so as you all can see, we've got the pans out. I've cleaned up the pinch weld all the way around. Had to do a little welding, a little grinding. I still have to do a little bending, a little peckering and dollying, you know what I'm saying?
What?
To straighten some stuff up. Along back through there. I think those are in good enough shape once I straighten them out to use. There were a few holes in them where they had riveted those rear section of the pans in. We got that. We got those welded up, so yeah, I'm gonna grab a pecker and a dolly and we're gonna straighten some of that stuff out and get these pans laid in here. All right, so I've gotten a bunch of holes drilled, as you can see. We've already laid this side down in there. I think I'm going to take some self-tapping screws and just, throw them in every little while. I don't know how far. We'll have to see what it takes to keep everything good and tight up in there. But, and then once we're finished welding the rest of them, we'll just pull those out and plug weld those. And I'm not sure if I'm going to MIG weld or TIG weld those yet, but we're probably going to MIG weld them just because I don't know that the metal's clean enough for TIG. I cleaned them as well as I could, but they're still, and then I did throw some skillet on the flange there and on the bottom side of the pan. That way, we'll have a little rust preventative. And it says it's weldable, so we shouldn't have an issue there. But yeah, I'll probably MIG weld these and we'll just grind down the weld. So I'm gonna get you all set up. All right, so I've got some screws. I've got some clamps. And I got a welder. So let's get these pans in. And we're gonna have to work these in a little bit here. Just to make sure everything fits good and tight. We'll have to do a little peckering on some stuff to get everything just right. We're gonna start in the middle and work our way out. That's got it, the front really good and tight right there, all the way up to the corner. With just that one screw. The rear, on the other hand, we're gonna need a few more going up through there, which I'll screw a few up through there and then I'll have to hammer some stuff down. So not a big deal, but I'm gonna see what it takes first. Then we'll pull this up, clean out any metal that's in between, because I don't want to have metal shavings in between the pan. Oh yeah, now that tightened it up really good through there now. Probably do us another one. Heck, I don't even need to weld it. I'll just leave my self-tappers in. We'll just cut the bottom off. It'll be fine. It'll be good. The back's looking pretty good. Let's move up to the front here. Like I said, it's already looking good and tight all the way up through here. All right, guys, we got a couple visitors here with us. One of those being Remington. Not seen him in a little while in the video. Got Baby Crank and Mrs. Crank over there. As you can see here, we're about finished with this side. I got a few in the back still I need to do, and we're gonna pull out the rest of those screws and fill those holes in. As you can see here, we got everything. Now, a couple of the hose were a little close to the edge, so we might have blown through a little bit, but we'll fix that. And it's not a big deal. It'll be covered with seam sealer, but got a little bead there. And then just, all of our plug welds through there. So yeah, it should hold it good and tight. And so yeah, we'll get you all set back up on a time lapse. We'll finish this side out and we'll start on the other side. So, and then we'll get these pans on there and get this thing ready to take outside, clean up, start pulling some more parts off of it. Gonna pull that beam, go through it, get it all looking good and nice, and then we're going to clean up all of our torsion area and get our transaxle, all that stuff refurbished, freshened up, maybe do a gear change. Who knows? I don't know. You don't know? We'll see. Time lapse. So this is why after we drill, or after we screw down, after we use our self-tappers, this is why we're pulling it back out before going ahead and welding it up. I don't know if you can see all those metal shavings. We don't want that stuff in between our pans and our chassis here. So we want to clean all that out. And I want to make sure there's no burrs on any of these holes that may hold that up a little bit. So yeah, we'll get this cleaned up. If I have to grind any, we'll retouch it up. Like that one there, we're gonna have to touch up. We'll have to sand those down a little bit. I'll get this cleaned up, sand it down. Anything I do, I'll retouch up with some Steelite. Then we'll throw the pan in here and weld it. But for now, I'm gonna turn off the time lapse. I'm not gonna put y'all back on the time lapse because you've already seen me weld that other side up. And I'm gonna turn some music on. So I'll see you all in just a minute. We got both sides all welded in. Now, I do still need to go through and grind down the welds to flush those out, to get those good and flush. And then I need to get on the bottom because we'll probably have to touch up a little stuff on there from just, welding, or where we drilled the holes with the screws to hold it down. Need to touch that up. But like I said, we are going to be tearing this pan down, or this chassis down, to pulling everything out, so we can start cleaning everything up, because she's nasty. We need to get this ready for paint. We got a lot of work to do on the beam. I still got to decide exactly what route I want to take with that, and then we'll be pulling all the torsion back here apart so we can get this thing on the ground, get it lowered. We're going to clean the transaxle, probably paint it, may go through it, may do a gear change, like I said, because I do have a bigger engine that is supposed to be coming at some point in time. I need to go check on that, but yeah, we want this thing to be a driver, so we want to get a good gear ratio in that transaxle so we can just get out and cruise, because I want the 63 Beetle to be just, I get in it and I can take off and I can drive it. If there's a show hour, 2 hours away that I want to go to, 3 hours away, I don't know. We'll have to see. But I would like to be able to do that, if the wife and family's not going, to just hop in this car, take off, drive wherever I'm wanting to go, whichever show I'm wanting to go. You know what I'm saying? But now the 63, now I can show it now because, yeah, so in the last video, I introduced you all to my 1957 Volkswagen Beetle. And if you haven't watched that yet, go back and watch that video because I'm really excited about that one. We've got a 1957 oval window Beetle. That was our goal for the 1,000 subscribers. That's what I said I was going to do when we hit that goal. And not only have we hit that goal, but we've doubled that goal. We're now over 2,000 subscribers. Thank you all so much. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe now. Hit that subscribe button, notification bell, and all that kind of good stuff. And if you like this video, if this has helped you all out at all, if you've got a Volkswagen Beetle project that you're needing to do pans on, which, let's be honest, if it's not already had pans, it probably needs pans put in it, because that's just that's just what happens. The pans just sort of rust out on these things, especially where the battery sits. But anyway, I'm rambling on. That's it. How you install Volkswagen floor pans. Yeah, so if this has helped you in your project, drop a comment below to let me know, and just let me know what year Beetle that you've got. And if you've stayed around this long to the end, thank you. If you've watched to the end, leave a comment of, let's see here. Just leave the comment VW. Yeah, just VW. For Volkswagen. Anyway, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Until next time, we'll see you later.
Well, bye.